You had some media coverage today. Channel 4 or 5 in the Strip. They've been ignoring most of your protests. What about today?
Well, I think fundamentally it's important to understand that the issue of Iraq and the U.S. warfare in Iraq is different than the issue of U.S. military support for Israel. You know, the war on Iraq has always been unpopular. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when we were at the height of the anti-war movement in 2003, we had over 60% of the American public in total opposition to the war. We had the largest marches we'd had in this country since Vietnam. You know, so that war has always been popular to be against. And so the media sees that war as less like politically divisive in that way. Whereas the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the fact of the matter is that, you know, the Zionist side is incredibly well organized and incredibly well funded, and so that is seen as a touchier subject and as more divisive, and so the media doesn't want to offend the Zionist corporations that they get their advertising dollars from, or for example, there are many Zionists run on these editorial boards, and I really feel like the local media here, as well as the media nationally, has decided to look the other way on the conflict in Gaza, because they have decided not to cover our protests. But it's not just happening in Minneapolis, it's happening in Chicago. In Chicago, they've had multiple protests of over 10,000 people, and they've had a real hard time getting media.
Chicago media ignored?
They've been having a hard time breaking into the media there too.
Many cities have had these huge crowds.
Right, but you would know that when you look at the media, and that to me is sort of participating in this narrative that we're all supportive of U.S. military to Israel, and I think actually there is a big pushback, but you wouldn't know it by looking at the mainstream media. That's why you have to go to alternative media like The Uptake, because that's where that side of the story is really being covered. And then that's our responsibility as activists to share that alternative media so that we can get our message out, because it's not being done by the mainstream news media.
Lending my voice to the other voices that are opposed to U.S. intervention in Iraq, and you know, they made a mess out of Iraq, you know, and they're just going to continue to make. Ironically, we're back to where we started in Iraq. Think about it. The Sunnis and Shiites have been having their struggle for a while. They got involved, and they're right back to the same. Isn't that ironic?
Yeah. Are we making any progress? The peace movement?
I'd like to say yes, but I think no. I think what we are doing is, what we represent is we represent that remnant of folks that keep holding the flag high to say that, you know, it's wrong, you know, and we're that part of what I call the continuum. Yeah, we're part of the continuum. So that when people look back, right now it's not very big, but at some point when folks decide to start asking themselves the question, but people opposed, you know, yeah, there were people opposed to this thing.
Because I detest what Barack Obama has decided to do. The hypocrisy of saying that the Yazidis need to be protected when they weren't protected for so long. We are the ones that created the mess in Iraq by invading Iraq, and now is not the time to go and bomb and try to get rid of ISIS, or the Islamic State as they call themselves. I'm not sure what we can do, but the thing is that it's the United States government that creates a lot of these messes, and it's enraging for what they do. The fact is that they didn't care about Palestinians, civilians that are being killed by Israel. And then they come and say that they care about the Yazidis not being killed by Islamic State, when Israel has said that they think that Hamas is just like Islamic State and Boko Haram, which is a crock. I just feel that it's important to show that you care. And I do care. I wish that things could be better. And not just for the human beings on this planet, because we're not the only species, but this planet is being destroyed. If you ask